For those of you taking Thesis seminar, just wanted to review the schedule. Today is March 27th, 2017, and as you see, according to our schedule, we're beginning week 10. We basically have, I would say, 2.5 more weeks because we've got, according to the schedule, 3 weeks, but April 10th through the 14th is Holy Week, so I wouldn't plan on, but maybe Monday or Tuesday to be able to collect data for that week. So essentially we've got 2 complete weeks and then maybe a day or 2 if you're lucky in this week of Holy Week. So at this point, all of you should be collecting some forms of data for your research. Remember that we need to try to triangulate the information so that we have different sources around answering your research questions. Remember, all of the data that we're collecting should answer your research questions. So my recommendation would be to constantly go and check your research questions each day as you're collecting this, and if any changes are necessary, we need to discuss those, and just to make sure that the research questions and the data that you're collecting align. Of course, all of this also must align to your lit review, your literature review. Make sure that it is completed. At this point, your lit review should be completed. If it's not, I would try to do that because it's very difficult and can be risky to do your research if you don't have a sound theoretical framework in mind. And so if you have questions about your lit review, feel free to contact me or come by and we can discuss those. But you need to try to finish your lit review if you have not done so already. So when you're collecting your data, make sure that most of you, I think, are doing observations. Again, make sure that you are triangulating the information. This is our key concept really for this week, is to think about the different forms of data that you're collecting. So again, one form might be your observations. Another might be an interview, whether the interview is prior to the observation where you're planning, or whether the interview is after the observations where you're reflecting on what the teacher or students did in the past. You might do focus groups. I know some of you are doing focus groups with your participants or teachers. You can do focus groups obviously with teachers or with students. Some of you are doing surveys. That's another form of data, another data source, whether the surveys for teachers or students. Any type of document analysis, any type of homework, even syllabus, or even something from the curriculum itself, anything in writing, those document analysis is another form or another data source. So again, make sure that you are triangulating the information as you're getting the different forms of data to answer your questions. And if at any point you're not sure about how the data that you're collecting answers your research questions, then those are times where we need to discuss it right away. There should be never any doubt about whether the information you're obtaining is related to your research questions or not. You should be able to distinguish data that helps and answers your questions versus the data that does not. And so you should be able to gauge each week how you're collecting the information, how your progress is coming along in terms of the information that you're collecting. So this is a quick review for this week, March 27th, 2017. As you see in our calendar, we need to try to complete our data collection by April 14th, understanding that basically there are no classes April 13th and 14th. And so again, probably Monday or Tuesday will be the last day that you'll be able to collect the data. Also, just a reminder, April 10th, we'll have our second whole group session from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Very important that you attend this as we will discuss different ways of analyzing your information. This will be very important information that you will need as you go into your break in 2 weeks. And so it's very important that you make this mandatory whole group session April 10th, basically in a couple of weeks. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or come by my office.